Awesome. Welcome everyone back to day 2 of the Vibe Coding Bootcamp. Today is going to be a really, really awesome day where we are going to be wiring up all the pieces and making our project actually come alive. I'm really excited for you guys to be here and watch this go from, just a landing page to something that lives and breathes and does everything that you need it to do. So I'm excited for you guys to check this out. We are going to give people like about another 90 seconds to get in here so we can mosey on in. Let's just, if you can drop where you're from, like what country you're in, where you're located, that would be awesome. Just so we can kind of like see the more international pieces here. We got someone from Germany. We got someone from Nigeria. We got someone from San Clarita, right? We have a bunch of people from all over the place. Yeah, sorry that we moved it by 30 minutes. I needed a little bit more time to prepare just to make this the absolute best experience possible. So yeah, we will be starting here in exactly 1 minute. So get ready. Hopefully you have cloned the repo. I will drop that in the chat here just real quick so you can be ready. So here's the repo. If you want to, it's Adel Vibe Coding Bootcamp. Sylph AI Inc. /Adel Vibe Coding Bootcamp is going to be where you want to go in order to go about doing this. So remember, we have a lot of goodness here. Get working on your projects. Your projects are going to be due at on Tuesday at midnight or 11:59 p.m. Tuesday. That's going to be the deadline. Any submissions after that will be marked as not valid. So we will be going there, and that'll be good. Yeah. Hi, Zach from India. It's already 1 a.m. here. Is there any chance that we can see these sessions later? Yes, everything live on YouTube is available later. You can look at everything later. Like, I don't know. People always get that wrong. But all right, let's get into this, Lee. I'm excited to like actually get rolling with this project. Okay, let's go into present mode. Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Vibe Coding Challenge. Today we're going to be unveiling a lot more little details, little nuggets around like how things should go. Yeah, Lee, make sure like if there's any part of this presentation where you want to cut in, just disrupt me, right? And we'll go from there, right? So let's get into this, y'all. Like, thank you for making it back for day 2. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about 3 things here. Just when should you vibe code? Because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about vibe coding in terms of like its seriousness and its quality and its problems, all that kind of stuff. That is going to be a very, very important part of this project as well. And then we have how to give your agent more context, because agents thrive on context. Without context, your agents will do a bunch of random shit, and it might do things that you don't want it to do. And then we'll also talk about what backend tools are good, like how to pick your stack. Especially like if you're using coding agents, how to pick your stack to be the best possible stack. So let's get into this. So when should you vibe code? It's actually, the answer is very simple. You should vibe code always. Always. Like for me, like, so I've been doing full stack development on dataexpert.io for the last 3 years. A year ago, I probably did like about 60% of the development by hand and 40% with vibes. Now, like, it's all vibes. So it's scary for me. It honestly is scary for me because I just use Adel. I just use Adel for everything, right? And it feels like I'm like giving Lee, I'm giving you too much power. I'm like, Lee, you build data expert with your models, right? And like, do you have any thoughts on this? Is there any time, like, because there's kind of a perception out there that vibe coding is meant for like cute toy projects, but if you're like writing real production code, you shouldn't use vibe coding, because then like you're gonna have security problems, secrets leaked. You're gonna have like all those kind of issues that we might see. So like, what are your thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on this, Lee? And like is there any
product?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that even our product is 100% vibe. I mean, this is what we build, right? I guess we are maybe a little bit biased, but the way is we want to maximize our productivity, and our models are so good. Sometimes a person is limited by your own knowledge, right? If you use AI and at the same time, if you keep asking a lot of questions, you're actually getting all kinds of different knowledge.
Yeah.
Like I was trained as a AI scientist, like doing AI stuff. But now I can build front end, I can build landing page, I can build backend, I can build AI, right? It doesn't matter. I can build almost everything. All I need is a very good sense of judge architecture, like how to actually make a very good proposal, have a really good process. And
Hmm.
the productivity has increased so much because all I need to do is to talk to AI about, okay, for this particular feature, what is the best way to do this? There might be multiple approach, but which is by design the best, have less edge cases.
Yeah.
And this process, uh, and after you're done, this is your my main job, right? I would actually implement the code right away. The code implementation is almost free, but you have to spend time read the code AI written. So you want to make sure you actually are on a good direction, because nobody wants to read so much code, and if you, and it's even worse if you don't know what you're doing. So
Yeah. Yeah, Lee,
I
I
would
guess.
say wipe all the time, use the knowledge.
Mhm.
And sometimes I can use do parallel work. So I could open like 2 or 3 windows, solve like 2 other small problem by this side. I have a main big problem. I have 2 small problem. I just like purely vibe and I get the AI figured out, and then I'll just check it later.
Yeah, I love that. Like my workflows as a content creator and entrepreneur have been kind of like that, where it's like I'll have one win. I even use Addle for this. Did you know I use Addle for content? Like you can use Addle for everything. It's kind of
I
wild.
also use Ada for content, for
Yeah,
GitHub,
yeah. And like,
everything.
so like I'll have like when I'm like working on like a data expert feature, I'll have one window that's like kind of the big complex task it's building. And then I'll have another window open of like, okay, how do I like ideate? What is my content strategy for the week? I'll have that window open. And then yeah, sometimes there'll be a third window where it's like fix this small bug, fix this like one liner, and it's like okay, and like
Yeah, yeah.
one of the things I also love to do here, and this is actually something that like I think is counterintuitive to what people think about vibe coding, is I use vibe coding to also increase performance, right? And it's like, so it's like I have a giant code base I've been working on for a couple of years, and like instead of telling Addle like, hey, like this here's the feature I want to build, you ask it like, how can I make the entire site faster? Like what can I do to increase performance? Right. And that's gonna be the big thing that like I recommend here. So like the big thing I want to remind you guys with, oh, I have one more question for you, Lee, is what do you think about vibe coding for people who aren't technical? Like what if you don't know how to code at all? Like is that like does this answer change if you don't know code at all?
So I don't think I would fully have that picture because I'm way too technical. And if I can relate in a way that I do things that I'm not, like maybe a language and I'm not very used to, right?
Yeah.
I think for non-technical people, you can build a lot just by look at the performance. Like does it actually doing the right thing? You know, like the
Yep.
final end results. And another thing, even for long taker people, they can still do is to probably ask them to add a bunch of tests. If you are doing like something like you require high quality, you want to make sure your code base comes with unit test.
Yep. Yep. And that's so good. So good. I love that answer. That's like
But yeah, but there's a lot of things like non-technical people can do, just play around. I wouldn't say it you can build like a really fancy, advanced, top tech company just by non-technical people. But you can definitely build a lot of apps that require very professional people to do. I see my friends building products themselves. They were product manager. They were not technical, so all those non-technical founders suddenly now they are building themselves. It's much faster. Before they might hire a contractor, right?
yeah.
But now they're just wiping themselves.
Yeah, that I feel like getting to MVP as an entrepreneur,
Yeah,
getting that
exactly.
very first version you can do with vibes now, right? So
And
I
they
have
do
one
this so
more.
quickly because they're the ideal person, right? So they don't they just move much faster compared with before when they trying
Yeah.
to like just try out different ideas.
Yeah, and I think that almost helps with that whole, in San Francisco culture where it's like, I'm looking for a technical co-founder, I'll handle the business side. Those how that's like half the founders in SF are those people. And now it's like those people actually have a lot more power because they can prove their idea and show
Mm-hmm.
that it's like revenue generating before like
Mm-hmm.
they have to lean into the risk of like hiring a technical person, right? That's like
Yes.
so like that's one way that the world's changing. So Lee, I have one last question for you here because you were saying that you vibe code even so you vibe code your vibe coding agent. Like
Yes.
that's very like kind of recursive. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
now the agent is making the agent better. It's like our so
100%.
my only question here is like, is this the beginning of the singularity? Is this like, are we starting? Is this like the start of the slope where AI just makes AI better and we're just cooked? Is that what we're doing right now?
I need to know right now because when the your product is very complicated, often there's actually a very big difference if you have a really good engineer driving it versus like not so good engineer driving it. You can still see the gap of quality even with AI, right? Even though you are using the same tool and they are intelligent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't say
Yeah, you're right. I think that
human
like
still matters. Your
they
knowledge
still matter a
still
lot.
matters. Your judgment matters a lot.
Yeah.
Because
Even though it
AI
feels
cannot
like
take
it doesn't.
responsibility for things, right? You can't go out and ask an AI, hey, build all these kind of things. What if something is broken and you
Yep.
ask it to fix it? But it's just like it's messy, I guess.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Lee. So let's go to the next slide here, y'all. So more context. Like context is super important. Like we are moving away from like our old form of coding into more of specification spec driven development. I actually had a LinkedIn post about this like 2 years ago, Lee, about this, how I was like, where I said that the documentation is now the code, right? That's actually how it works. Is like, if you can document your system, then that actually is the code now. And that like, as we go forward, it feels like that might actually be how it works, right? Where it's like, you have a
Mm-hmm.
document that generates the app, and then you just make your specification better and better and better, and then it will
Mm-hmm.
document the app, and then that will build it for you. So and we will be
Yeah,
doing
I
that
call it
today.
design to code. So
Yep.
all you need to do is to really work with AI to figure out the direction, design, architect.
Yep, I love that. And so this first one, these proposals, that's what we are going to be covering in like the lab section of today's bootcamp, which should start in about 15 minutes. And then we have agents.md, Claude.md, Addle.md. These are all just like kind of like these are additional context files for your coding agent. And these things are very good for large code bases. So like if you're not working in a large code base, then these are not as useful. But like, so I have agents.md in my code base, right? And because it just tells it exactly like the pattern that I want my Next.js routes to look like, and the pattern of like I also have like, have a specific file for things that talk to the database, have a specific file for things that handle routes, have a specific file for things in the service layer, right? I have like a kind of a modular design that like I want it to keep doing. And it's interesting because usually if you put it in agents.md, it will follow it. It will follow it. Like I find that like about 10% of the time it still disobeys, but it like, and I'm always like, damn it, like come on, what else am I supposed to do, Claude? Listen, or listen, Addle, right? And so,
It
and then
happens when the context window becomes too long. The
yeah,
model will just forget
yeah,
more stuff.
yeah, it gets that kind of lost in the middle effect, right? Where it just is,
Mm-hmm.
it's dealing with too many tokens. So and last but not least, we covered this in yesterday's class around like registering skills, where you can have a skill to start the dev server, look at analytics, clone a website. You can have all these skills to then make it more effective, right? So like you can kind of guide it through its development practices, and that could be another very powerful way to give your AI more context. And then last but not least here, I don't know if you can see it because of the okay, there we go. You can use @ to include the file. So that's how we're gonna be using this @ sign to include our project specification in the lab today. So exciting times, right? So what backend tools are good? So This is easy. Like this is a very easy thing. Like, don't be fancy here. Don't be fancy here. Like, literally, the more code on the internet, the better the agent is at generating. Just so, literally, like, pick what's popular, right? That's like, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on this, Lee? Like, for tool selection to make AI better? Like is there anything that you would add? I mean, this is honestly like, this is a very brain dead take, but like is also like pretty. It's one of those takes that's both very brain dead and very smart at the same time.
I would say you have to combine both. Or sometimes you might really look at the longer term, right? When you pick something, you need to say, okay, where the tech is right now and where it will be in 1 year. I mean, for real production, because you don't want to start like your base should be very strong. I
Yeah.
would say I would have to look at the support and if how good the tech stack it is right now and
Yep.
how well it's maintained.
Yep. I love that. I love that. And that like, and well, and I think that there's also the wisdom of like how many examples does the training data have, right? Like
That's
like
totally true. But what we found actually with our front end, for Ada was actually on a newer library. It's very, very new.
yeah.
So that's like a little bit different. Just because there are, I think it depends on your use case. For like a backend, I would say normally you choose whatever is popular. But whenever it comes to the field of AI, you want to choose whatever is the best.
Yep.
And normally the new stuff is the best and it's more suited for AI case.
Yeah. It's a trade though, right? Because the new stuff is the best, but it has the least amount of training data. But sometimes that's a good thing because the training data that it does have is good examples. Because I think that's
where
like,
the context you can give matters.
yeah,
The way we do that is actually we use a very new tech, and then we have a guideline. So every
yeah,
single time we work on that particular task, we add that guideline to the agent. So
yeah,
it does very very good job, even with a new tech.
yeah. I love it. I love it. Let's step over here. So then we have what backend tools are good, right? So I just from the brain dead take that I was talking about is like using popular tools is going to give you really good results, but like there is some nuance to it. It's not just that simple, right? But like, JavaScript's better than Rust. Next.js is better than Vue. Stripe is better than Lemon Squeezy. Postgres is better than NoSQL. Tailwind is better than custom CSS, right? Those are going to be the big strategies that you want to be thinking about as we kind of like step through and understand what's going on here, right? Like, and that's why like when we're building today, we're going to be using JavaScript, Next.js, Stripe, Postgres, and Tailwind, right? We're just going to like, we're using the very standard like solopreneur stack because like this is also the stack. This is literally the data expert stack as well. Like I'm not someone who's trying to build some super optimized Rust compiler thing that like uses the absolute minimal amount of bytes, right? I don't know. Like that's going to be the thing to be thinking about. So, anyways, I wanted to open it up for questions for about 10 minutes here, and then we will go from there, right? And then we will we will see what's going to happen here. All right. So, does anyone have any questions about like what we're going to be doing? So today we're going to be actually wiring up the front end and actually making it so that like we have a real sending thing here. Because vibe coding is something that like is the future. It is the future. It's what I do every day for Data Expert. It's and like at other companies like they said Amazon, it's like 70% of code right now is generated with AI. So it's like it's great, right? Yeah. Ooh, oh, Lee, this is a good question. What do you think about what do you think about the trade off of like using tools like Lovable and Bolt versus what we're doing here?
Oh, interesting. I think they are more probably for non-technical people. They might have. I think you might feel a little bit more comfortable if just on the web, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't have the control of the the level of control you have from compare with a coding agent. You definitely have more flexibility, and you see exactly what the agent is doing. Whereas
Yeah.
if you use those agents, you don't exactly know what code they're writing, why they are writing that,
Yeah.
and it's a little bit less technical. But even the coding agent nowadays, you can do a lot of stuff by not reading the code. I would build a whole landing page not even reading a single line of code.
Yeah. I think one thing I like to think about here, Lee, as well, is like when you're building something and you are thinking about what is where do you really need to look into, right? It's like, okay, where's the risk, right? So like, for example, like your payment API, when you're accepting someone's payment, right? That should probably be something you look at, right? Because that's going to be another very important piece of the block, right? And then you also have like what else? The payments a big, that's like, and I'd say payment and communications. Those are the two that matter a lot, right? But everything else, like what you're saying, like the landing page and everything else doesn't really matter that much, right? I mean, I in terms of, because it's just read only. Anytime you're doing anything that's just read only, it's like
Yeah. And I almost never look at the code.
yeah, all right. It's like you could just look at the result, right? You just look at like, okay, look at like what it actually generated, and like hopefully it's good. Like, so we have like one or two more questions here. Let's see here what we got here. We have one from Surrender. He's saying, what students, what should fresh graduates, do they need to learn coding or just lean into vibe coding? Like, do you think that should we need to learn vibe coding at all?
I think you need to know both. Actually, vibe coding is a great way at learning because you can ask the agent to explain to you, and you can ask it to build things you can't build yet. So it's actually speed up learning.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Like, and like I've picked that up, like, because it's like I've been wanting to learn Rust because I like Rust as like a language, because
Yeah,
I think it's like it's a very high performance, powerful language. It's one of the languages that's going to be coming into the future. But it is and that's how I'm learning it. I'm not like going to tutorials. I'm not listening to people on YouTube. I'm like, Adel, teach me AI,
yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. So, okay, this is an interesting question. We're saying, is the final grade primarily based on market value, USP, the UI UX polish, or technical complexity of the AI implementation? Which one carries the most weight? Do you have any thoughts on that, Lee? Like on like how we're grading these projects?
And so you're the expert here.
I mean,
What do
I
you
would say
think?
market value matters a lot. Market value matters. I think it's going to be technical complexity matters a little bit less. I think like it's like if it's a really good, because it's like I also understand that like what you can build in 2 or 3 days is not that much. You can get pretty far, but not super far. So it's like if it's something that doesn't get like, if it has a good UX, it's very shiny, and it has a good proposal, a good market proposal, that is really those are going to be the things that the way to go, right? So I'm saying, is it okay to join? Yeah, you can join here. I'll give you the link. So you can join here at you go to learn.dataexpert.io, and that's where you can join this project, as well as a bunch of other free trainings and boot camps that I have available on that platform as well. So that's where you can join here. So awesome, Lee. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you
in
for
today.
having
I
me.
will take it from here. I really like your I really like what you were able to provide here, and we will step into the actual coding segment of this of this of this boot camp, right?
Good
So
night. Bye.
yeah, have a good one, Lee. Okay, let's go into okay, let's 1 second. I gotta get my terminal up and running here. Okay, cool. I'm hopefully I can get this working in a way that will okay, there we go. Okay, so welcome everyone to the coding bootcamp. Let me we don't need this screen. This screen is not necessary. Let me try to get this to be what we want here. So we want this guy and we want this guy. I'm like, okay, we can close this guy. Yeah, terminate this guy. Okay, so what we're working on today is we're going to work on building a web app for a blog site, right? So this is going to be like, we're going to build essentially Substack, but we're going to build Substack from a specification. Okay. That's literally all we're gonna do. Is like we're gonna but the goal here is we need to make sure that we have everything in this specification so that like the coding agent can, because there's this whole idea around how coding agents can like quote unquote like one shot projects, right? And that's what we're going to be doing here, to be thinking about like our projects, right? And a lot of times that is all you need to do. And so let's step through what we're thinking about here, right? So we have like this is not done, by the way. Like we're missing a lot of different things here. So like you'll see here, like we're going to be building an automated system, but you'll notice that there's nothing in here that mentions Stripe, right? So we need to add in a couple other things here, right? So let's go add in payments. Okay, and then what we can say here is subscribers or authors can offer paid or free subscriptions for each of their or for their publications. Every post can be free or paid, right? So and then we want to like, okay, that's cool. We're going to be offering payments, but then we have we want to say Stripe. We want to say use Stripe here. We'll say use Stripe. So then we have our email delivery. So one of the things you might notice here is AI does better when everything is kind of like in the same format. So you'll notice here how like email delivery does not have the same strategy here. So let's go ahead and copy resend API and put this into the same kind of rhythm. So the specification is good right there, right? And then so like we want to like, but when someone has a paid or free subscription, we need to say make sure to add a page for unsubscribe and unsubscribe, refund, and cancellation, right? Those are super important, right? As a part of it, right? That's actually wait a minute, this is a feature though, right? This is not an architecture, so we will put that down here. So we have the subscribe to newsletter component, right? And then we also, because if you have a subscribe new component, we also have to have we're gonna have like a unsubscribe component, allow users to unsubscribe from newsletters, unsubscribe component. Then we have manage payment component, manage payment component. Wow, that was off. So this is not what it is though. We're gonna say allow subscribers to unsubscribe or can't unsubscribe, refund, or cancel their paid subscriptions through Stripe, right? Okay, and then we have create a homepage listing all published markdown posts. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Then we have our newsletter sends. So then we have like our post delivery, right? This is going to be tracks email campaigns to ensure it does not store the post body, since Git handles that. Okay, do we want to do it that way? I don't know. Okay, a GitHub action that detects new markdown files in the post directory. I don't know. So Lee, I don't like this. I honestly think that this is not the way to do it. Like, I mean, because this is like a GitHub action that detects new markdown files in the post directory, automatically parses the YAML, and then sends it out. Using GitHub actions is like not a good strategy, right? Because it's like we want it to be like we want to be able to let other people like subscribe. Like we want to create other publications, we want to create other subscriptions, right? And so like this should be on the, like you should be able to click a button on the site, right? So so what we want to do here is we need to have a posts table, right? We need to create a posts table. So this is going to be let's say posts table ID, and then we have content markdown, right? And then we have like is paid, right? And this is a Boolean, right? Because it's just like whether or not it's free or paid. And then we have our created at and updated at timestamps. This looks good. And then we might have like another column here, which is like for the posts, we probably have like a yeah, I like status as a column, right? We can say like sent draft archived. I like that. Sent draft archive. That's probably a pretty good. Oh, it's probably published draft archive, so that like when someone like when you create a post, like you can save it, right? So there's one of the other things that's missing here though, right, is we need an author table, right? An author table is also going to be super important just from a perspective of like we need authors, we need posts, right? So we're gonna say author, right? We'll call this an ID, and then in here we're gonna need an author ID as a column, and then this is a foreign key to author, right? That's like because a post has to be created by an author. That makes sense. And then in here we have like a name, which is a string, and then we have like a so like we'll just say we're not going to differentiate. Like with Substack, they have author and publication, but I don't think we need to do that in this spec. So like we have a name, we have like we'll say yeah, we'll put an email just because like we need that, and then maybe we'll do password as well, right? String. And then yeah, the status here, and we have created at, updated at, good, created at, updated at, sent at. Okay, this post delivery is, we don't need this, right? Because this is like we already have that from up here. I think I like it better than like, because get the way that Lee was planning to do this is doing it that way. I think this is just called post, and then we don't need this table. But we do need one more column here that we need yeah, published at, and this is going to be a date time. Okay, cool. So this is then we don't have the push to publish pipeline. So let's get rid of GitHub Actions here. We don't need to follow that pattern because it should infer these things for us. So we have to have a send or an author component, author post component, right? This is going to be allow authors to create new posts by posts inside of editor on the front end, right? And then we have like author publish component, publish their post to the blog, publish to the blog, and send the email once they're done editing it. Okay, then then we have the automated newsletter dispatch. Yeah, embeds hero images directly via CI/CD. Okay, system checks the database before sending a post is never emailed twice. I like that. So other things to be thinking about here, right? This is where like I think a lot of vibe coders get some stuff wrong in that like they don't think about like other security features. So like what let's put a 6 here, and we're gonna say security features. Okay, so what we want to do here is we're gonna say make sure all secret keys like Stripe, resend, Supabase, etc. are all in environment files and never exposed on the front end. Right, we have make sure the email send API is rate limited, so authors can't spam can't spam users more than once per day. We'll say like we're gonna make it so that you can only send out one newsletter a day, right? That's pretty good. Like I want to open it up here for a second from people to think about like how else might this this newsletter subscription be abused. So I'm just gonna we're gonna go back and look. We're gonna go back and see what else is going on here. Like what other, does anyone in the chat here? I'm gonna show up the chat here. Will this repo be shared? Yeah, it is already shared. If you've been following it, it is already shared. So yeah. Does anyone have any other thoughts about like how this repo might be abused? Like if we're doing a Substack clone, like what are the other ways that you think about storing password encrypted at rest and in transit? Hopefully, yeah, I like that. So let's make sure. I love that as an answer. So let's go back to password, right? Where we have password here, we're gonna say encrypted both at rest and in transit, right? That's just make sure that it knows that that's what we need to do. I think can you show us the front end of this backend system? Yeah, limit size of post checks for DDoS. Yeah, payment shouldn't be duplicated. I like that limit. So let's do a limit size of posts, right? Let's like so security features, right? A post can only be as big as a standard email allows. Make sure to check for malicious code inside the email body. Prevent. So this is like to prevent. I don't know if you guys have heard of XSX attacks. That's another super important security feature. Can add OAuth or Supabase auth for password saving. That's a good idea, honestly. Like let's go back and like we can like that's probably the better way to do it is with Supabase. But let's do that actually. Let's add that as a feature. So this is going to be a new feature. So this will be six. Or this will be 6, right? And then we have authentication feature, right? And then then we'll tab this over. We're going to say use Supabase OAuth to authenticate all author users. This is now 7. Okay, cool. I think what we have here is this is pretty good. This is let's go ahead and try this. I think like that's really what we want to do now is let's go ahead and try this out. So I'm in here, and so I'm going to make a new directory here called web app. All right, we're going to cd web app. Cd web app. Oh. Okay, cool. We are now in the web app, and then I'm going to open Addle. Actually, wait. We want to go up because we want it to be in the like we have it in the class materials. So let's go ahead and just do Addle from the top here, and we're going to say create a web app, a Next.js web app in the web app directory using this directory, using this specification. And then we can say at class materials. Then we have O2 class proposal. So, and then, obviously you got to put the make no mistakes. Got to just slap that in there just to vibe, right? So now this is going to like in that directory that I created, it should create us a Next.js web app that this is probably going to take a little bit of time, like because it's obviously like building like a lot of code. This is something that would take, previous engineers like a week or 2 to like really figure out the right way to do it. So we are getting there, right? But this is what we are going to be starting out with today, right? Is like, remember the future of code looks like this. It's this weird like markdown table that we can make sure that we actually work through, right? So this should allow us to do things in a very powerful way, right? Hopefully it knows that we're going to be using, I think we might have made a mistake here and forgot to mention Supabase here. So like while this is going, we're going to need to go and make a bunch of accounts, right? Because we're going to need, we need a resend account, we need a Stripe account, and we're going to need probably like a Supabase account. Those are probably the big ones that we need to go and actually make. So let's go ahead and go to Supabase real quick, and we're just going to go ahead and like sign in here. And then I'll sign in with GitHub. So we're going to need, we need to get all of our API keys. So that's going to be the other big thing that we need. Just thinking about it. Okay, so now we have a new project. So I'm going to call this like vibe coding project or vibe coding org. Okay. Dude, like Supabase is like slow as hell right now. It's like trying. All right, we'll let that go. So you have to have a type of password. I'm gonna make it. You can't use password as the password. You have to have words in there. Okay, we'll just like do. Okay, I know what to do. Vibe coding. Not bad, but your password must be harder to guess. Boot camp. Okay, fine. I'll copy this. So like we're creating our project. This is just giving us our database password so that like once the like this is something that we're gonna want to have ready, right? So okay, awesome. So now this is gonna have our so we have our database here, right, where we can create new tables. Like we're gonna need to create some new tables here. Like remember the tables that we're like, Adel is gonna give us more information here, like as we freaking as it kind of like steps through things. But we're gonna look at some of the other kind of features here. So while Adel's still running, we want to go to resend API. So let's go into here and log in. Okay, I'll just log in with GitHub. You know, I've never freaking logged in with resend. Let's okay, so then we need to get our API keys. So I'm just gonna open up a little text editor thing here real quick, and I'm just gonna say database password. Right. So this is I just used a very terrible database password, but like. So we need to use the following generated key to authenticate requests. Add API key, right? Okay, so now we have our little API key. We're gonna need this guy as well. I'm just gonna put him in the resend API, resend API key. We're just setting this up while it's ready to go, so we can actually like test out some of this stuff. So let's just go back and see. Oh, it's still grinding away. It's a lot. Like what we're asking Adel to do right now is a lot. It's going to take like a couple minutes, right? So so we need to get a Stripe key as well. So let's go to Stripe. Is there a way I need to log out? Can I log out from Stripe here? Okay, I'll just log in on. We'll do it on another browser. Okay, because I don't want to log out on that. Can we like log in here? And is there a way? Can I like sign in with Google? Yeah, we'll use another account. Can I use like create account? That creates a Google account. Stripe, you're so annoying. Isn't there an easier way to do this? Like, okay, new to Stripe, create an account. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna say what? We'll say testing@gmail.com. Okay, Zach Wilson. Okay, create. Got to create our Stripe accounts. Sure, save. Why not? So now this is going to give us our, okay, we're going to say vibes. Oh, you don't need the website, right? So we're just going to continue. We can just skip for now. Get your live account. Okay, go to Sandbox. Okay, we're getting there. Because like we got to set up all of our SaaS shit, right? So here are our API keys, right? So we have our publishable key. So we have our Stripe publishable key, right? And then we have our freaking Stripe secret key. And that's going to be, I think that's going to be the main things that we need. Let's go back to Supabase because we need to get more auth. There's more stuff from Supabase that we need to get. Where's our database? Yeah, we need these guys. We need the project URL and the publishable. We need this publishable API key and the project URL. So let's Supabase publishable API key. Supabase URL. Okay, so a lot of that's just like annoying setup, but like, come on, this should have done something else. I feel like Addle's hanging. I feel like it's not. It's thinking about it. It's like, what do I do? Like, okay, we'll give it like 1 or 2 more minutes, and I might need to change. It might be Sonnet might be choking here, right? That might be what I need to move to Opus. That might be what's actually going on here. But we now have our setup, right? We have freaking all of our pieces of the puzzle that we need to actually get Stripe up and running. So okay, I don't think that was gonna work. So let's go back to Opus, right? And then we will go ahead and run this guy one more time, because it honestly should be like stepping through a lot faster. Okay, see that there, like it hung for some reason. It like now it's actually like doing the thing, right? So yes, run the thing, build the thing. I'm glad that it did this thing. So now we can like, it gave me the time to set up all my goddamn passwords. Yes, build all of the stuff. See, now it's like installing React, installing Tailwind, installing TypeScript. It's doing all of the super annoying things that we need, but like we have all of our passwords now. So like we'll be able to like actually go through and build this out, right? Because the specification stuff is really useful, right? Because now like we have our code, and we'll be able to actually see it as it like kind of builds it out. So it's going to be going and going and going and going and going, right? I'm excited to see like how this actually ends up showing up on the other side, because it should be pretty great, honestly, if you think about like how things are coming along here. So like it's kind of interesting how okay, there we go. It just installed how many packages? Dude, did it just install like freaking 300 packages? I swear I saw that. Okay. Yes. Okay. See, now it's installing. This is where you see how we have resend, we have Stripe, we have Supabase, right? We have sanitize HTML, we have node mailer, we have React Markdown. This is all like the right things that we need to install, right? These are all the core dependencies. I think it like, I don't know. I swear I saw it it installed like a lot of packages, and maybe it's getting to the right ones. So we should be able to see it like actually doing its work. So you'll see inside of this is the new project, and you'll see in here are the packages that it's installed so far. Just Next, React DOM, and it should be adding these other packages going forward. Yeah, there we go. See, that's what I thought. I saw add 236 packages, right? That sounds right. Yes. So now if we go back, we should be able to see, there we go. Now we see these are like the building blocks, right? We have the Stripe, we have Supabase, right? We have Prisma, right? We have all of these are like the pieces of the puzzle that we know we're going to need, right? And then these are like dev dependencies that make sure that like, we are using good Tailwind, and these are TypeScript dependencies. So we are going to be using TypeScript 5, apparently. It picked TypeScript 5, but so now we're going to be doing npx Prisma init. So this is going to create the Prisma schema. And you'll notice like in here, we have Prisma. Here's our Prisma schema. So it's empty right now, right? It's empty right now, but like you'll see it wants to add, and now I said trust. I just said Adel take the wheel, Jesus take the wheel, right? And then so now it's asking for webapp.env. So now like we'll see we have this new env file where we can actually we can pop in all of our this is where we can actually pop in all of our pieces of the puzzle that we need to work on, right? So you'll notice we have our Stripe publishable key, Stripe secret key. We have resend from email, resend API key. So let's pop in some of those right now, right? So we had our resend API key. So we're going to pop him in there. And then what else can we do? We have the Supabase key, right? We have that. I'm just going to I'm gonna be ugly about it, and we're gonna paste them in here. And so then we have our Supabase URL, and then we have our Supabase key, right? And then we have our Stripe key, and then we have our Stripe secret key. So it looks like we still are missing a couple, right? We're gonna need that webhook key, and then we're gonna need to get that Supabase service role. That's going to be, and then we might need to use this database password. So I'm just going to like comment this out for now. Like, why did it comment with, what the hell? I don't like commenting with semicolon. What the hell did it do? Okay, so now that's going to be working. And like, we'll see, this is still going, right? And while that's going, we're going to freaking go back to Supabase and try to find, we need something from Supabase, right? Yeah, we need the Supabase service role key. Okay, so where can we find that? Service role key. Next.js subscriptions and auth. This is probably what we want. This is the SaaS starter. Does this have that in the .env example? So this doesn't need that though. You see, this only needs the base URL. Okay, so that one's not right. We'll just, I want to, before we kind of like go off the deep end with like the rest of the stuff. Okay, we can probably find that Stripe webhook secret. That's probably something we can look for. Can we look for webhook? Add a destination. So we need to, because Stripe webhooks are events that Stripe sends you when someone subscribes and whatnot, right? So we're just going to select all the events, and we're just going to say YOLO, and we're going to add a webhook, right? But we don't know where the hell this needs to go, right? We don't know, like, so what we need to do is we need to see in the freaking app where the webhook is. So that's usually going to be in one of these. We have our API, Stripe, webhook, route, right? So this is going to be our webhook route. And you'll see like we have subscription deleted, session completed, and subscription deleted are the two events that it's like currently handling. So what we need to do here, right, is we see the route though, right? We have API, Stripe, webhook. So but the problem here is like we don't have a URL, right? Because we haven't deployed, right? We need like an actual like URL to deploy to. So we're just gonna call this like vibe coding destination, and then this is just gonna be like, I don't know. We're just gonna put some url.com/api.stripe.web/webhook. Hopefully these guys aren't angry at us for sending random data there. So then well, we have to do a thin payload as well. Okay, what? Tell Stripe where to send events to give. Did I like? We should have only had the snapshot payload. Okay, fine. We'll just do both. Some url.com. We will obviously change this to like where our actual deployed webhook is. You know, add destinations. I think this is where we'll get the webhook key. Yeah. See, now this is our signing secret that we actually. This is what I was looking for. So we're gonna get our signing secret here that we can then go into our .env. Go into the env here, and you'll see we have our Stripe webhook secret. Paste them in, right? So now we have our webhook secret. So we need to update this resend from email. This is probably wrong, and then that service role key is probably the other thing. Let's go see what Addle's doing. So it's doing the send post, send test email. And then, okay, this is looking pretty good. Honestly, like we are getting pretty far here. Yes, proceed. So let's go ahead and go back to resend then, because we had our resend onboarding. So okay, so we'll just use the resend dev right now. We'll just use this resend dev from. And just be boring about it. And obviously, like you would probably want to brand that and make it better, right? And so that's gonna be a big thing. So we need to see like, is database, like we don't really even want to use database URL, right? Because we want to instead of using database URL, we want to be using Supabase, just end-to-end Supabase, right? So is this even in the code? That's the real question. Is this database URL even in the code? So, okay, that's like local, but you'll see like it's not anywhere in the code though, right? You'll see like it's not actually being used. Like it's the only place it's being referenced is Prisma. So that's fine. Like we can probably nudge Adel to like get rid of this. This line is probably not even needed because we can just rely entirely on Supabase. So that should be pretty cool. I'm excited about that. So let's go back. Okay. It's just doing some more tailwind. It's you'll notice Adel like is realizing like, oh shit, we need more and more CSS and more like libraries that we have to install. It's hopefully this is going to look pretty good. Like I think we are almost to the point where we can run it. Here, I'm going to open up a new window and we're going to try it. Let's see if it actually runs right now. It should. Okay. Oh, it figured it out itself. It figured it out itself that that the database URL was not necessary. That's so cool. That's so cool. Like I see sometimes like I'm like, wow, I'm not even necessary anymore. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So we can say npm run dev. It doesn't like npm run dev. Error. Oh, it's because we need to go into web app. That's why. npm run dev. Okay, so now we can actually like look at the site, see what the hell's up. Okay, so there's still some, it still is not quite ready, right? It still is working on some other things. It's literally working on those exact small changes right now. As we kind of like step through, it will probably figure out what the hell's going on here. It doesn't like this TypeScript change is it's like freaking out, right? And we will one-shot Substack. I promise everyone. Like it's gonna be great. Like why not p npm run dev? Because I don't give a shit about people who like use slightly better package managers. If we're gonna deploy that to Vercel, that Supabase is connected to it, right? Yeah. Like at the end of this, like we should be able to deploy to Vercel. So I'm surprised that this is like, it doesn't like this in particular. We're going to let Adel get, it seems like Adel's kind of like stuck right now. It's like stuck in like this weird like Prisma loop where it's like deleting this and then adding this and deleting it and adding it. Right. And like, see now it's okay. Now it's building and it will probably find this TypeScript error because there's a stupid TypeScript error right here that like it can obviously see here. Like what other routes do we even have in this? So like we have like, so in the beginning here, we have like we have auth and blog. So can we go to like /blog? Does that work? Okay, there we go. See now, okay, now it's looking like it's actually working. It's just the home page isn't working. So we actually have like see here's our blog page and our author page. Oh, see, then we have sign in with GitHub, right? And okay, so that's very interesting. Manage subscription. Okay. Oh, then we can subscribe right there, $10 a month. That's pretty interesting. What does this button do? Unsupported provider. Provider is not enabled. So we need to go back to Supabase real quick, and there should be like authentication in here, and then OAuth apps, right? And then we need to say like we need to like enable OAuth server to make your OAuth server settings enabled, right? Okay, save. See if this actually like we might need to like add a provider. It might not like that, but like let's see if that works now. Okay, I think the problem here is we might have to like wire this up completely with GitHub, right, to actually get it to work the way we want it to. Sign in providers. Okay, there we go. This is it. We go GitHub, right? GitHub enabled. So allow users. Okay, so what we need to do here is we need to get our GitHub OAuth, right? So let's just Google that real quick. GitHub OAuth create app. Okay. Okay, developer settings, OAuth apps. Okay, so go to GitHub. Okay, let's go to GitHub. go here, settings, developer settings. Then there's probably OAuth apps, new OAuth app. Call this like Vibe Coding Bootcamp, right? The full URL of your home application. Goes someurl.com. Let's do that for now. Authorization callback. So we need to like have that as a, is that what we need in the Supabase? We just need the, okay. And then we have, so this is going to be the callback URL for OAuth. So we need this guy. So we'll copy this guy and paste him in here. And I think maybe we'll just do local. Does it let us do localhost 3000 here? It might. Allow this authorize using device flow. What does that mean? Let's just do it. Okay, so now we have our, we should have like a key here. Like, okay, so here's our client ID, and then we'll need, you need a client secret. So we need to generate a new client secret, but we will do that in just a second. So we have our client ID, and we'll generate a secret. Yes. So get us our OAuth ID, right? So, oh, here's our little secret. Don't look at that, it's secret. All right, and we have our paste here, and then save. Just thinking about it. Okay, so it looks like successfully updated with settings. So now what I want to try here is just try it. Ooh, oh, look at that. Oh, it's a Christmas miracle. Okay, see, but the problem here is that now this API auth callback is like not, like we're missing that, right? It's not like, it's not handling that the right way. So let's see, like it doesn't like this line for some reason. Let's like see, okay, it still doesn't like this line. Prisma needs to be constructed with non-empty Prisma client code, right? So let's like, I'm just gonna say like, we have show more here. Okay, let's okay, we're gonna say in source lib, where was this? In source lib Prisma. Yeah. We are getting this error. But we actually got GitHub Auth to work, right? It's pretty cool. So that should give us our, so we have our auth page here. So I think that it's just an error page. Nice. It doesn't actually have the, okay, here's the route. Okay, so it does call Supabase. See, it does. Okay, so this is right. API auth callback. So then this actually does work the way we want it to. Okay, so okay. Unknown property data sources provided. But what is this Prisma even doing? Like this file seems like this file might have been a mistake. So let's just look at it real quick. So we're in lib, source lib, Prisma. So where is this even used? Oh shit. Just everywhere. Okay, that's freaking great. Okay, so then the fix was passing explicitly to the Prisma client constructor. Let me verify the build still passes with this fix. It doesn't pass though, right? Like the build passes, but it doesn't pass. Build passes, but it fails during runtime. Just like kind of nudge it in the right direction here. Yes. So now it's like being like, oh, I was wrong. So like it's gonna like, so it's debugging this weird Prisma error, right? And hopefully this is gonna be enough, right? See, this is a good, see how it's like it killed and restarted the server? This is a great opportunity where you can use skills, right? Okay. It's saying because it can't connect to that database, which makes sense. So let's go look back at Prisma, because like right now what's happening with Prisma is it's freaking trying to connect to this database, right? So we should be able to, can you just have the Prisma client connect to Supabase instead? I don't want to use Docker. Because like we don't give a shit about like, ooh, okay, because then we have your project ref, your DB password. See, this is where, okay, so now we just need to freaking update our freaking database password, right? So we have Postgres database, all that stuff, right? This is, so now what we need to do is we need to go back into our environment, right? And you'll see now we have our Postgres, your project ref, and then remember how we had I said Vibe Coding Bootcamp was the password. So then we just need to find our project ref, and then we can go from there. So let's go back into Supabase, and then we should be able to like have our project ref here somewhere. I think the project ref is just this. I'm pretty sure the project ref is just the first bit of the. Yeah. See, it is. It's up here as well. So that's the project ref. So then we have Postgres.project ref. And then we have our Vibe Coding Bootcamp. I think this is probably like US West 2. Or maybe let's try US East 1 first. But like that's something we probably want to look at. But like let's just see if that solves the problem or not. And then we will go from there. Okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. That like okay, so npm run dev. Okay, so, there's another instance running. What? 3,000, right? Find many. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting like now Prisma's actually like okay, can't reach database server at localhost. Yeah, that makes sense. But like can you kill the dev server? I can't find it because it's like in the we have to build the dev server here real quick. We're really close, guys. I know this doesn't seem like okay, so now this should just do nothing. Okay, cool. Okay, let's. Can you see if the database URL I provided in .env is correct? Because we might be able to look inside of this database. There's probably a way to get it in here, right? Settings. Okay, so we have our database roles. No, that's not it. Okay, like this is so close. It just needs that one freaking database connection, and then we will be there. And then we'll just spend 40 minutes. Settings, database, docs. Okay, I'm just gonna use chat real quick. How to find your Supabase database URL. That was terrible, but db dot. Okay, so it's okay. This looks way better. This looks way better. I think this might have been the okay, so you may need to manually construct. Okay, XXX. So let's go to the apps.supabase. Exactly's projects. Yep. And then we have doesn't this have the okay, I'm guessing okay, I bet chat is right here that this is it. And that like because this URL that it kind of like gave me here is like very fucking crazy, right? So let's put database URL equals this, right? And then we have our password here is Vibe Coding Bootcamp, and then the XXX goes here, and then this guy is just not it. Can you try again? It looks like it didn't just fail immediately. No, what? That wasn't it. Like this has got to be the. It's very, very adamant that it's that way, but like freaking chat, why is it different? This is so annoying. Like, okay, 1 second. We'll go back to Superbase for 1 second and find the thing, right? I'm curious. Does someone else know where to freaking get the Superbase database URL? It's super annoying that it's just not like right. It's not right in my face, right? Because it feels like it should be, right? But it's like not. Right? That's the okay. Project settings. So go here, and it says here, and then is there project settings, and I'm just and then go to database, scroll to connection information, compute and disk, no, general infrastructure, no, API keys. There's no connection information. What does it even mean? This is like up to date info. Okay, let's we're really close here though. I'm gonna be so sad if this part of it is like just one small little nugget of a detail here where like this freaking SaaS is like not right, quite right. Connect, you have a connect button. Hover over the, okay, so what, you have a connect button? Oh, thank you guys. I'm the dummy, all right? Wow. Okay. I'm tired, guys. Let's freaking, it's a weird day. Okay. Let's yes, proceed. I literally copied it this time. No, don't fucking fix it. No. Keep it. Okay, sorry, Adel. Let's try again. I just want to, okay, let's run the dev server from the other screen here real quick, and then we should be good. Okay. Cannot reach server db dot. But like, I think, okay, so we have our Prisma, which is going to be here. And then we have our db dot this guy, that is literally what I copied from here, right? That's db.postgres. Yeah, this looks right. This looks like the view parameters, right? Yep, that looks right to me. So then we have our okay, Prisma. Prisma schema. Okay, so okay, it's because okay, we just need to freaking literally follow this exactly right, which is freaking follow this guy exactly. Don't freaking okay, so we have our database URL, but we do need to put the password in here, right? Vibe coding bootcamp. There we go. See, I just need to follow instructions better, right? This is literally just me not following instructions. And then we have the Prisma, right? We have to make sure we do everything right with Prisma as well. So inside of Prisma, we have our schema, which is now this guy, right? We paste these guys in. We have our direct URL. Let's make sure that that top line was right. Okay, so we have a generator client. Okay, that is the same. Okay, now that's the same, that's the same, that's the same. Now let's try one more time here to see like if that actually like, we should just get a different error. Now it should be like posts. Oh, see, it worked. Yes. Okay. Amazing. So now what we need to do is, can you look at the Prisma schema and give me all the SQL DDLs I need to run on Supabase. So thank you guys for your patience there. I freaking need to actually follow the instructions and look at the giant connect button, right? We're really close here. We're really close. Okay, cool. That just gave us all of our freaking okay, let's just freaking grab all of this. So then we're gonna go back to Supabase and we're gonna go to project overview, or there's like a SQL editor. So we're gonna create our types, then we're gonna create our author, then we're gonna create our post, right? And then so post should have an author ID. Doesn't have the, okay, then it adds the foreign key right here. And then we have our subscriber, which has, yep, that looks this needs like another, I guess, because a subscriber can technically be part of two things, but for this project we're just going to run all this. Just going to run all of the pieces of this. Okay, so now when we run this, it should work. Oh, I'm so happy right now. Okay, does this work now? We sign in with GitHub. Okay, let's like refresh here, sign in with GitHub. Okay, there we go. So now I'm signed in, right? And then I can make a new post. I'll be like, hey, this is from my Vibe coded boot camp, right? And we're gonna say blah, blah, blah. All right, and we're gonna say save draft. What does that do? Okay, so now we can say publish and send newsletter, right? But I think what we need to do first is we got to go to blog, and I'm just going to subscribe real quick. I'm going to say Zach at dataexpert.io subbed. Okay, so let's make sure that this is actually working in Supabase, right? So the way we can do that, we can say like select star from author. What does this have in it? See, there's me, because I authed with GitHub, right? And we have something from post here. Okay, so now we have post working, right? This is my blah, 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 right? And it's a draft, and it was created at this time. And then we have subscriber, right? We can run this. Active, right? So this is looking pretty good. So now what we want to do is we can go back into our, let's go back to author, right? Because we have our post here where we can edit, right? And then I'm just going to be like, publish and send. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to be like, hey, I'm Zach. Publish and send, and be like, yes. Okay. So now it's published and we sent it, right? But did that actually go? That's the real question. Did we actually get our freaking, let's go to Zach at Data Expert. Okay, so did it go to spam? Because it should have actually sent. We'll give it a second there, because it definitely should have actually sent. Let's look at the logs real quick of the, yeah, that looks like it posted right here, post publish. It definitely published. So let's give it just like a second here to freaking find. Unless, when did I exit? Okay, so we got Zach at dataexpert.io right there. That's the right email. Interesting. It's not working the way that I wanted it to. Why didn't it send? It didn't send, like, or I'm telling you, it might have went to spam. It definitely should have sent the email, but like, okay, I want to try one more here with a new post, just test post, sending post, right? Save draft. And then this opens up the subscriber, right? We're going to be like, YOLO. Oh yeah, rate limit exceeded. Authors can only send one newsletter per day. See, that's looking good. That's looking great. But the thing is like, now that sucks, because now we freaking have to be a new author, right? So one of the things we might notice here is, okay, so now we have our, oh, can we go into this? Oh, look at that. It looks just like Substack. Okay, so, but like, what about like if we go to manage sub? Okay, if I say like Zach at dataexpert.io, what does this do? And it goes to Stripe, dude. That's so good. That's so good, dude. And I don't know if you know, but if you do 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, as like on test Stripe, it works really well. Right. And then everything else doesn't matter. We're just going to sub. Oh, you have to put a freaking email in here? Let's go. Because it's saying sandbox here, right? Vibe sandbox. This is a sandbox environment. We're in test. See what it does. Because that's pretty cool that it actually went to Stripe. There we go. Subscription active. Take people's money, right? So now we could actually go back and that might have been why it didn't go through, right? There might have been a bug here, right? But so now we have our author who signs up and has his posts, right? So if we sign out, but then I mean I can only sign in the only GitHub sign in I have is Zach Wilson. But like, so this is pretty cool, like where we're at so far with deploying this. So what I want to do next here, right, is we want to actually go and put this on. Well, there's a couple things, right, that I think we want to fix, right? Is one is like, how do we make sure that because right now this only works for like one user, right? Where we have our one newsletter that works. But like if we wanted to make this like a true Substack competitor, then we would need to make it so that like authors can sign in and send, but then the subscriber table has like when you subscribe, right, that table actually has like you have another table, right? Because a subscriber can subscribe to multiple blogs. And that was an oversight that we had in our if we look at our proposal, right, our subscriber table should have more, right? It should have another, if we wanted to like split it out, so we can have like another thing in here. So the subscriber table is pretty close here. But the other thing we're going to want in this is we're going to say author ID, right? We're going to say author ID, foreign key to author. Because like a subscriber should like, so email is not unique here, right? Because you can have a subscriber can be subscribed to multiple authors. And that's actually what we want in this system. Right, that's going to be the other big thing that we want going forward if we want to like really make this a true like competitor. I'm just surprised that it didn't actually go through. That's something I'm like, what is going on here? This should have like actually like sent, but it didn't. It just was like no. So that's but the blog is working. The blog is working, and we have all the data here, and it's actually looking pretty good. We're pretty close here. I want to slow it down here for a second. And are there resend logs? Ooh, resend. That's a good question. Can we say metrics? See, it didn't send. It for some reason it. Oh, we got one. We got one here. Logs. Why did it not like this? Testing domain. The resend domain is for testing and can only send to your own email address. To other recipients, verify a domain and update the from address to use it. Okay, that makes sense. Honestly, that honestly makes a lot of sense, because that's going to be the that makes a lot of sense, right? Because like we need to actually like verify a domain. Oh, you have to verify a domain? That's super annoying. Okay, well that's so what we can do is I'm not going to verify a domain right now on this freaking call. But that's super easy. So that makes sense why it didn't send. So if we subscribe, right? So what I want to do is we're going to go back and we are going to we're going to hack our way around the system here, right? So you see how like with post, right? If we say post in here, it will look, and it's the rate limit is going to be based off of this published at. So what we're going to do is we're just going to delete this first post. We're just going to say delete from post where ID equals this ID, and we're gonna run this. Yeah. I know that it's gonna cause problems in production. Okay, so then what we want to do is we're just gonna delete from subscriber as well. We're just gonna where email equals Zach@dataexpert.io. My problem was I freaking used two different emails, right? So let's run this selected. Yeah. So now what we want to do is go back to blog, and then we can go into here, and I'm just going to say, so if we refresh, this is gone, right? So we go back to blog, and then we can stay up to date here. Where we're going to say Zach Wilson 130. So let's use the exact same email so we can send it to ourselves. Subscribe. Okay, we are subbed. We are good to go now. So now if we go back to author, we have our test draft, which this should work now if we're like, this is a sneaky little newsletter, right? And we say send. Okay. Okay. Oh, it still has the rate limit. Like, but where is it pulling that rate limit from? Like, it has to be from. Okay, like, okay. Let's look in there real quick. I want to see like how it's actually doing the rate limit. Okay, publish route exceeded. Rate limit. Oh, it's right here. It actually uses like a hard API limit of like when, I know what to do here. So the problem here is like it puts it into a map. So the rate limit is currently stored in memory. So one way to get rid of the rate limit is just to kill the server, right? And now we'll be able to actually freaking send this post, right? Because now the rate limit is no longer stored in memory. We didn't actually have to delete the other post. We just had to kill the server. Like that was supposed. This is a sneaky little post here, right? So then we're going to say save draft, and then okay, then publish. Okay, so now that's published, and now let's go back to my other email, the one that I signed up with. So now this should okay, let's look at the resend logs real quick. Just look at logs, because we should see like see we got 200 this time. We got a little green look at this. Look at this beautiful. This is a sneaky little post. It's pretty good. It's honestly pretty good. So like the next step here would be to like register a domain, right? And then there would be a little bit around wiring up payments, but you saw how payments was actually working, right? We actually got payments wired up and working. And so then now we have a blog. Now, the last step of this that I wanted to do is just, we want to get this up onto Vercel, or like actually deploy on Vercel. So let's go to Vercel real quick, and then we will be done. We will be done. Okay, so log in. Yep, sure. Log in. Yep. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay. Freaking come on, Vercel. Let me log in. Okay, continue with email. Okay, I think I have to sign up. Sorry. Personal projects. Zach. Fine. Continue with email. Okay. Come on, give me my new Vercel freaking verification. This should take very little time. So now what we want to do here is we want to get the new repo. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to post up this this repo that we currently have working, right? I'm just going to go ahead and like I want to make like a new repo for this, right? Just because like freaking like I think that put the Sylph AI one might be a little bit weird. Vercel might not like it as much. So we're going to call this like Vercel vibe code deploy. Right. And then we'll just say this will be public. Okay, create. And we'll just say get remote. Right. We're going to say get remote add. I'm going to say Vercel. Okay, so then we say like, then in here, what do we have changed? Okay, so we're going to say get add dot get commit -am adding a blog project for Vercel, get push Vercel main. Okay, so now it's here, right? We have our code here in main. It's all good to go. So now what we need to do is we need to go back into here and go to like exactly and Vercel import. So our root directory is actually web app, super important. And then we have to add all of our environment variables. Okay, so we can or paste import or paste the contents above. Oh, you can just paste. Okay, well if you can just paste, then let's just do that. It's just freaking. Can we just Does this work? If this just works, I'm going to be so happy. Oh, that was so good. That was so glorious. Okay, so now what if we just hit deploy? If this just works, I'm going to be so happy because then we'll just have like this is why Vercel is so amazing, right? Because we were able to just like pop something up here real quick and be able to get everything working the way we want it to work. And so right now we are deploying, right? And dude, you know what's so crazy is like even with the struggle bus of freaking Supabase, this still was an hour. And we are now freaking deploying. That's freaking so cool. So freaking cool. So and that's kind of like the idea here is you can build stuff so fast. You can build stuff so fast, right? So there we go. It was showing as active. Yep, there we go. I think he's ready to make 10K MRR. I'm ready to directly compete. Ready to directly compete with Substack. Yes, let's go. Just want to make sure Vercel actually finishes here. Was this Vercel? Continue to dashboard. Oh, look, it's up. It's alive. It's alive. Does it work? Does auth work though? Okay, so you see there's a problem here because we freaking we set the auth code wrong. So we need to use this domain. So let's go back to GitHub real quick. We got to go back to GitHub and freaking we got to go into settings. We got to update the OAuth settings here, right? OAuth vibe coding, right? Because we have our can't we like edit it? See, the homepage URL is actually this guy. So then we can update. So now we can try this one more time. Does it need to redeploy? Or it might take a second. Does it? That's so weird. That should like actually is there something on Supabase too? There might be something on Supabase that we need to freaking where's Supabase OAuth? There was authentication, right? Wasn't that like another authentication sign-in providers enabled? Okay, no, this is right. Okay, I think it might just need a redeploy because it's like picking up the old. It's still picking up that it's not this Vercel link, that it's actually something else. That's the okay, what we can do here is we can just generate a new secret, and then we will copy this secret and go to Vercel. Okay, Vercel. And then vibe code. And then we have our oh, look at that. We're actually doing some cool stuff here. Okay, so then we need to go to our deployments, or where is it? Environment? It is this guy. And then oh, dude, I love Vercel sometimes. Okay, environment variables deploy. Okay, there we go. Now let's just go in here and we will update the oh no, this is on Supabase because we just changed the this is just on the Supabase side, right? Because we just need to change the auth on Supabase. That's what it is. Go here and go here. And then this secret is now this secret, and save. And then hopefully we can just like we can sail off into the sunset with this freaking amazing example. There's probably like just one or two other small like things between development and production here that need to change. Can we just like go here? Okay, because this like, see, it's still oh, I know what it is. It's the there's that other environment variable, right? There's the next public app URL. This guy needs to be different. This guy needs to be this guy, and we can save. So I think it's probably okay. Then redeploy. Yeah, redeploy. Deploy him again, and then we should be able to get like the actual like authentication with GitHub. And then that should give us what we're looking for. So then we can just go and we can see what's actually going on. So we have it takes about 1 minute to deploy, but that's so you'll see we got payments, we got email wired up. We do need to set up a domain for email so it can actually like wire up. But then like now, like you see how like one of the big things I'm trying to show you guys though here is like, this is actually pretty good. You know what I mean? This is actually like pretty decent, like in terms of like what we were able to slap together in an hour. So like what I'm trying to show you guys is like we were able to do most of this stuff completely from a spec. You saw how I didn't write a single line of code for the most part. Yeah, no, I didn't write a single line of code. I let AI do everything. So and now okay, I want to try this one more time. Does this work? There we go. There we go. Oh, so the redirect, it still doesn't like the redirect though. So, but now am I logged in now? Does it actually like accept my freaking, why does it, that worked, but then it didn't work because it was like, for some reason, GitHub authentication is still trying to go to localhost for some reason. Is there something else? Okay, so we have this, and then in GitHub in OAuth, right? We have this. Is there any environment variable that like is still set to localhost? Because at this point, like it might be in the you know where it is? It's in the code. It's in the code. It's definitely in the code. I bet it's in the callback. It's in the API callback. Right? It's in here. I bet in here somewhere it redirects to localhost. Maybe. Supabase exchange code for session, create session, create server, client. Okay, that looks good. That actually looks fine. And we have our author upsert. And it just, why does it, that's so interesting. So interesting. There's probably, it's something small here. It's like not letting me, like, it's like, it likes to go to localhost there. Like, even though like, I swear I got it to look right for half a second and then it like lost it. But anyways, like we were really close. Did you write the spec entirely by hand or did you vibe some of it? That's a great question. N variables in the file, but that file's not checked in though. Like the .env is not checked in, right? You'll see it's not. It's this is ignored. This file is not in the repo. Let's just check real quick where localhost is showing up. Okay, so next public app URL or localhost. Yeah, so we have create, checkout, manage. Okay, that's fine. All of those seem totally fine. Okay. Clear the cookies. Clear. I mean, honestly, that's probably what it is. Cookies. Can we just like just get rid of this? Bye. Done. Reload. No, that like it's like a server cookie though, right? It's a server cookie. So the redeploy will work, but then like it's somewhere it doesn't like that it's doing that. But I mean, I want to you guys want, we'll try another browser real quick. I will like listen to you guys. We'll try something on Safari real quick. If this doesn't work, then I don't know, man. Okay, so that worked. Of course it worked. Like sign in with a passkey. Fine. See, but then it redirects, right? This redirect is like, so that's what I'm trying to say is like, I think it doesn't like it. It's still in this OAuth. Like the one of these is not right? One of these like, yeah, no, this is okay. So we have our homepage here, and then somewhere it's redirecting to, okay, let's just ask Adel real quick. When we authenticate with GitHub, it's making a mistake and redirecting to localhost in prod. What do we need to do? Just like everything's broken. Oh, it could be in that auth button. Okay, so set next public app to your domain. We got that right. Configure Supabase redirect URLs. Okay, site URL to this. Okay, so let's go back to Supabase and see, like, that looks, is there something else in here that I'm missing? No, that's it. Okay, and then configure homepage authorization callback. The flow, your app, the Supabase site settings determines where Supabase redirects to after GitHub. So that's the most likely culprit. Supabase site settings, sign-ins. There's something in here. It might be this one. Like, is it not letting us? Can we because this is site URL is like, why can't I? No, but it's in here. It's definitely like, that was so weird that it worked and then it just didn't work, right? This is a great example of tiny freaking mistakes that like can make a big difference, right? Because why can't I edit this? Okay, it's not that one though. It's definitely in the providers here that like that this should have. What's this? Enable manual linking for this project? No, that's like, okay. I'm just gonna say these URLs look right to me. Look right to me. I mean, there is this one that is localhost for some reason that like it's like stuck and it's like not editable. But like, we'll let it noodle here. But I want to also open it up for any questions that people might have, because like I received this email. A third-party application with user scopes was recently authorized to access your account. Okay, that's pretty cool. I received this email after subscribing to Zach's post. That you didn't click on update in GitHub. That might be it, honestly. Did I just forget to hit update in GitHub? Like, okay, let's refresh here. No, it's there. That's right. I got that right. That looks right. I did update. So weird. Such a weird. Okay. It's like, no, you will. Okay. Okay, it's saying that like if the Supabase URLs are configured, the issue might be in the auth callback route. It uses new origin, which can resolve the local host behind certain proxies hosting platforms. Let me fix it to next instead. Okay. Can you commit and okay? I want to commit and push this on the other branch here, right? So adding changes for OAuth. Let me say git push Vercel main. That should like, we're so close. This auth is like pretty freaking awesome. I think that it's a small change here that we need to like actually get this up and running, and then we'll be able to have the whole author experience. But yeah, I think for this to change, you need to go to Vercel and integrations. In there, you can connect Vercel to Supabase, and it will change DE. Is it because I subscribe to your post even if I hit the redirect problem after trying to sign in? No, I don't think that matters. I think like it's cool that like the sub should work. I mean, like you just sub here, right? And then like the author is the interesting thing. I think this small change that was out, this thing that it's talking about here, might actually be what it is, right? This is probably what we are looking to fix. That like, so Vercel should be deploying right now, right? Okay, so there we go. This should be it, hopefully. Let's try this, and if not, then still localhost. What the fuck? Because you're saying that there's a Vercel integration. There's not an integration between these things, right? Is there? Browse, like, is there really a Supabase? Like, because but like it shouldn't need this, right? Because we have the OAuth between GitHub and freaking Vercel working. I mean, between GitHub and Supabase working, and like there shouldn't be that middleman who needs to be in there, right? But I mean, we're really close. But anyways, like that's what I wanted to show you guys. If you guys wanted to like figure out like what that small, there's like a very, very small bug in what we're doing here. We did something very ambitious today. So and like we got pretty far, and I wanted to slow it down here for a second and get some questions. If there's any questions about like what we're doing, like how things are going to look and stuff like that, and we will we will go from there. Yeah, how are you guys doing today? Like you guys ready to vibe code? You ready to build some stuff? Because that was pretty close. Because Lee's example was interesting because it was a little bit less ambitious because it didn't have all the, like the OAuth stuff in it that like is there. And so yeah, that's so interesting because like it does connect. It just then redirects to the wrong spot. That's the so weird. Yep. Yeah, maybe you should try to turn off the OAuth server. That could be it. Enable the Supabase OAuth server, save changes. Maybe that's honestly what it is. If that's it, I'm going to be so mad, but at the same time that makes sense, right? It probably takes a second, but like cool. Is I on to creating a 1 billion MMR B2B SaaS. Yes. If you guys have any questions, I'm down. I'm here for another like 2 or 3 minutes, and then we will be hopefully you guys can get more stuff going here. I will definitely be what do I try to say here? I will definitely figure out what the small change here is, but can we have the some guidelines to follow when we are vibe coding? Yeah, that was at the beginning of this class. We talked a lot about that stuff, right? And so hopefully we can get this last little bit here, and then we will like I will troubleshoot this offline, and then we will go from there. I'll get you guys all the code for this, and then yep. And we'll go from there. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys get hacking, right? Get hacking. And then okay, so tips to vibe code better, right? Like what we did at the beginning, a spec, right? We have a spec, sends emails, right? Use Markdown, right? Those things matter a lot. Right? And then like I would say beyond that, like what am I trying to say here? I think beyond that, you don't really need very much more, right? Because you can just like it will build for you, right? It will definitely build for you, and like use skills, right? Yeah, it is great what is possible to do with just a couple hours. Yeah, this is like 1 hour, right? Like singular, right? So did you have to authenticate GitHub on Adel CI to make all the changes? No. Like I don't I have my own. I was committing on the other side, right? So yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm excited. I'm excited, guys, to see what's gonna happen here, and I will send you guys the update on like what the bug fix here is once it's known. And I hope you guys have a fantastic Sunday. Get vibe coding. Remember, Tuesday at midnight is the deadline for submitting your projects, and then the winners will get into the AI bootcamp, as well as get a 1-year subscription of Adel. So get hacking. I'm glad you guys could see this, and also I'm glad you guys could see that like